the Ring General Gunther reveals shocking details on his dream match and final boss for his WWE career. Also, another WWE superstar has been sidelined with an injury and is out indefinitely. And I'm going to dive into all that and much more coming up on this episode of Wrestle Digest. But before we get into it, we got to say that 97% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you want to keep up to date on everything that's happening around the wrestling world, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. But with that said, let's go right into the first topic of the video today, which is another WWE superstar sidelined with injury. And yes, unfortunately, we seen from WWE NXT on Twitter today that as a result of the heinous attack by Gallus at the end of WWE NXT, Ivar has suffered an injury and will be out indefinitely. And this is horrible news. He just adds his name to the long list of WWE superstars who are out with injury right now. And Ivar is a guy who I've always been, a big fan of. I think his in-ring ability is so good. And, now we've kind of seen him silently shift back to the NXT brand where he came up and is helping that young talent develop and is really implement himself very well into NXT. And now we see him go out with injury, which is horrible to hear. But to me, this might be a bright thing for Ivar's future. And I hate saying that because you never want to see anybody down with injury, but I'm going to make a point here that, like I said, Ivar is one of those guys who has it. He has that in-ring ability. A guy of his size, pulling off the acrobatics that he does, the agility he has in the ring for a guy of his stature is unmatched. And it's just something that is amazing to see play out within a WWE ring. And something that has been, I think, holding Ivar back. Yes, you can make the case he has been, the mid-card on Raw and then shifted back to NXT. Yes, you can make that case. But the thing that's been holding him back to be one of the top stars in the business, in my opinion, is the Viking gimmick. And I know a lot of people might like Ivar as the Viking gimmick. I know I'm not one of them. I obviously, I understand it. He has the look for it, stuff like that. But I think Ivar has so much more potential as a solo competitor getting away from the Viking Raiders thing than he would, as a Viking Raider. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe while he's gone, we may see some shifts to his character, which I would love to see. Maybe he comes back as a completely different, name or something. Maybe he shaves the beard off. Maybe he trims it down. And I think this would be great for his career and could really propel him up to the main roster again and into contention for these mid-card titles. Because Ivar's always been that guy who's great on the mic. He's, we've seen his promos in NXT where he's been phenomenal on the mic. And, even in the ring, like I said, he's one of the best. I mean, he pulls off some fantastic moves, some fantastic matches. So with a rework of his character and a little retool to, his whole gimmick, I think Ivar could be one of those guys who propels up the mid-card and could, potentially break into, contending for the main title. I think he has that ability. I think it's just been it's been holding him back. The Viking Raiders have been holding him back for so long, and I think maybe now he's out an indefinite amount of time. This obviously seems like a serious injury, so maybe, when he comes back, however long that may be, he comes back as a completely different character, which I would love to see, because I think Ivar has it. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Do you like the Viking gimmick, or do you think they need to rework him a little bit? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get into the main topic of the video today, which is Gunther reveals his final boss. And yes, as we've seen here, this was an interview that Gunther had. He said, of course, I heard something about it. I always saw Brock Lesnar as my final boss. And yes, this is shocking because obviously we've seen that awesome spot between these two guys at the Royal Rumble, and it really looked like they may be setting up a Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match for the future. And obviously Brock Lesnar has been in some hot water, which we're not going to dive into. We're strictly going to talk about this potential match playing out, and I think it would be an absolute banger of a match. It would kind of be that passing the torch kind of thing that WWE loves to do. Brock Lesnar passing the torch to Gunther. I think that would be really fun. I think it would be an amazing match as well. But the big question behind this is, obviously, when are we going to see Brock Lesnar? Are we going to see Brock Lesnar ever again within the WWE ring? But it all, I guess, it stems on the hot water he's in right now. If he can clear his name out of that, stuff like that, then he'll be, brought back into the WWE. We've seen him, taking off that intro video and stuff like that. So, it's a big question mark at this point that, are we ever going to see Brock within a WWE ring again? And here's my proposal. Here's my kind of theory behind all this Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match. I think when Gunther wins a world championship, whether it be the World Heavyweight Championship, whether it be the Universal Championship, this is when we will see Brock Lesnar return to face Gunther. Because obviously, they're not going to bring Brock Lesnar back to fight a one-off match at a pay-per-view with Gunther. It's not going to happen that way. I think Gunther is on the trajectory right now to be a world champion. And once he gets that world championship, after he's king of the ring, because obviously he's going to be the general of the ring and the king of the ring, obviously he's winning that 100% in my mind. So once all this happens, he's at the peak, we're going to see him start competing for world titles, and I think he's going to get one very, very soon. So will we see Gunther go on a big long reign like he did with the IC title? I don't believe so. I think, one long reign into another long reign just doesn't really make sense. It makes sense for the Gunther character, but it doesn't make sense for the WWE. So what I suspect is, Gunther wins a world title. He, defends it a couple times. Everybody's saying, oh, what great champion Gunther is. And then, maybe by the third, fourth defense at the end of the match at a premium live event, we hear the Brock Lesnar music hit, and he comes to the ring with his cowboy hat on and all of this, and, they face off, and then that sets up Brock Lesnar versus the Ring General at the next Premium Live event for potentially a main event, because that is a main event match in my eyes. So I think that this is what is going to happen. If it was ever to happen, this is the way that they would do it within the WWE, and I would really love to see this match, because I think these two guys could sell the match really well. The promos would be awesome. I think just having, maybe Brock come back as a face in this instance, and just have Gunther still be the heel guy, and just having their promo back and forth could be really fun to watch. And the match would just be top tier. Obviously, two powerhouses going head to head for the world title. It would just be great to see. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this Gunther versus Brock Lesnar match. Do you think it's ever going to happen? Are we ever going to see Brock Lesnar back within a WWE ring? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. But also, I want to hear your thoughts on the, potential, the theory that I kind of put forward of how they would reintroduce this. And I want to hear your guys' theories about how they would reintroduce this down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic of the video, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Billy. Billy says, what country is this episode from? And Billy, you're not the first person to say that here on the channel. Obviously, a lot of people don't know where myself, Brady, and Josh are from. We are from a little island in Canada called Newfoundland. We're Newfies. We have our own strict type of dialect. So if you ever hear something on this channel that you don't understand what it means, make sure to comment down below. We'll explain, because, we talk very fast. We have our own type of, lingo and stuff like that. So it might slip through every now and then, but appreciate you commenting down below, Billy. Love seeing your support. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button. Also, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on any wrestling news that's happening around the world. Also, leave a comment. Like I said, you might be featured on the next comment of the day. And if you want to check out a video we did just yesterday, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, Casey. We'll catch you in the next one.